This is the only leading electronics giant not centered in China.
Yet it's still dominating the industry, backed by 89% foreign capital.
It has held the #1 global spot for years.
It's been 9 years since the battery explosion scandal, yet its global dominance remains unshaken.
So why can't anyone take them down? Today,
we're diving into the biggest tech fish market in town
to take an honest look at how Samsung builds its empire.
Ever since HTC launched the first all-aluminum phone, the era of full-metal smartphones has been unstoppable. We've seen titanium alloys, steel aluminum hybrids, and all sorts of materials. That's why the phone's main frame is more crucial than ever. The first step: melt aluminum and cast it into rods. Then heat them to a steady 5°C and press them while hot into uniform sheets. Thick or thin, the size depends on the part.
Different parts,
different raw materials, it's that simple. Take the SIM card tray for example.
It's made from steel and aluminum using CNC machines.
Once it's formed,
any extra bits and sharp edges are ground off. And just like that, you get an accessory that will be forgotten by history in a few years.
Samsung,
originally a food trading company founded in 1938 by Lee Byung-chul in Daegu, South Korea,
was called Samsung Sangho.
After over 80 years, it has evolved into a conglomerate spanning electronics,
machinery, finance, chemicals, aviation,
biotech with 79 major subsidiaries.
These companies have branches in
over 70 countries around the world, employing a total of 230,000 people.
So are they all just working for the Lee family? Well, it's way more complicated than that. American investors hold 55% of Samsung shares,
while affiliate companies own 21%.
So in truth, these foreign investors are the ones raking in most of the profit.
Looks glamorous on the outside, sure.
But isn't this just a high-class version of working for the man?
Also,
Samsung is actually part of a strategic US play against Japan, a long game to knock Japan off its perch. Samsung was basically a puppet cultivated by the US for its chip strategy.
Although the US was involved, Samsung initially operated with full autonomy, but everything flipped during the 1997 financial crisis. The US swooped in to buy up Samsung shares at bargain prices. That's when the master-servant dynamic suddenly reversed, with most profits now flowing back to Wall Street. Big investors had every reason to back Samsung unconditionally, and Samsung Electronics didn't disappoint. It crushed Japan in key sectors. As a result, Samsung quickly became the center of global attention. So the world Samsung rules isn't Korean, it's American.
As phones finish assembly on the automatic lines,
they head into dozens of quality tests. First up is the gravity test,
entirely done by robots with zero human input.
According to top global research firm Pomelis,
as of Q1 2025, Samsung still holds the #1 spot for global smartphone shipments. Western Europe, Latin America, and the Asia Pacific
are its biggest markets. But here's the catch. Despite its performance-driven brand image, its market share in China is under 2%. Why so low?
Because Samsung never really cared about Chinese consumers.
With the rise of domestic brands, Samsung's market share had already started dropping even before the Note 7 explosions. The battery fiasco was just the final nail in the coffin.
It sped up Samsung's retreat from the Chinese mainland.
In terms of camera and performance metrics, its factory output is top tier, but its double standards in consumer treatment
turned Chinese users completely off. They lost all affection for the brand. Let's not forget, Samsung's global recall plans never included China. Worse still, they accused Chinese consumers of faking issues
and even threatened legal action.
At one point, they even made Chinese staff kneel in apology to suppliers
just to contain the trust crisis. Yep, it really got that bad. And in the smartphone world, one thing that grabs the most eyeballs: foldable screens, the real game changer. Globally speaking, Samsung still leads in this category. Looking across the world, over 4,000 patents are tightly held by the world's top mainstream manufacturers.
The heated debate in Beijing
left everyone confused about who really started it all. But if you look at the footage, beneath all the mechanical aesthetics and sleek design, we can dig into past records and trace back a surprisingly thought-provoking origin. The hinge design dates back to Mitsubishi Electric, which in 1997 proposed a flexible LCD panel mounting structure.
That patent introduced the basic concept
Of foldable screen hinges.
It marks the earliest known attempt
At a foldable display in human history. What makes the hinge so brilliant is its ability to fold a rigid phone body into a completely unnatural shape.
Samsung Labs, for example, have machines folding devices hundreds of thousands of times non-stop, alongside repeated high drop tests from several meters up and pressurized underwater simulations. All of this effort
serves one goal:
to earn IP68 or even higher IP69 ratings. After all, when a phone costs thousands of dollars,
there'd better be some real substance behind the price tag. At the end of the day, only by treating consumers as people and upholding a true spirit of corporate responsibility
can a brand hope to survive for the next 100 years.